Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rita Egidio. I'm your host, and this is the Influential Creatrix. And today we have a subject that I'm so curious to know more about it. Then it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me pronounce your name correctly. Nette? Nette. Okay.
Yeah.
That is the reason why I always ask my guests to say, please present yourself, tell who you are, where you are from, and what you do.
Okay. So I'm Nette Hargreaves, and I'm originally from Germany, but I've actually lived abroad for about 30 years now. So I've lived in Spain for a while. I lived in the States, in Brussels, in the UK, which is where I'm currently at. And I'm really, really passionate about women being empowered in themselves. I'm really passionate about women loving themselves and having sovereignty. And I use human design as my primary tool to support women on their journey.
Wow, me too. This project is all about girl power, women, femme power.
Yes.
And I'm so in love because I keep attracting to myself people as you, beautiful souls as you. What the hell is human design?
Okay. So the unfortunate thing with human design is it doesn't look sexy and it doesn't sound sexy when you first talk about it. But I am here to tell you that it is.
Okay, so bring that sexy back to human design.
Absolutely. So human design is this really unique combination of all these ancient systems that have existed for millennia that tell us about how we can use our energy. So you have the I Ching, you have the chakra system, you have elements of the Kabbalah, you have astrology, and it's all combined into one system that I have found after 20 years of self-development to be the most accurate thing to describe a person that I have ever seen. So I actually call it your soul signature. It's like your human design holds everything about you that you came here to express. How you're using your energy, what your gifts are. It has information about your personality, how you can manifest it. Like you can dig really, really, really deep into so many different areas. And It was really just heartwarming. I did a reading with a client yesterday, and she was just, without knowing it, she was already so embodied in her human design. And she actually said at the end of it, I feel there's like my soul on this piece of paper. And I was just so in love with that.
Oh, I had no knowledge about human design until I started doing these interviews and meeting people. You are the first person that I bring in with human design. I went to check my, how do you call profile?
Your chart.
And I am, let me see, the most normal one. How do you call it?
Your generator.
Yeah, I'm a generator. I was expecting to be a little bit something else, but I'm a generator. And I'm a giver. And then you talk about parts of your organs of your body, like the liver, right? Or I'm wrong?
So different energy centers. So the energy centers in human design, there's seven chakras, but there's 9 energy centers. But some of the energy centers sort of combine, like, for example, your solar plexus, which is all about your emotions, and your spleen, which is all about your instincts and fears. In the chakra system, they combine into your solar plexus. And then you have an energy center called the ego or the will center, and the G center, which is all about your identity, and they combine to be like the heart chakra. And all the chakras then also map back to different areas of your body.
It is a little bit overwhelming when you see it if you have no knowledge. So it's so much information. My question to you is, what do you do? So you just provide the reading, or can you have other options that you can work with the client during a certain amount of time?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
And if it's okay with you, I'm just going to jump back just 1 minute to something you said earlier, that you said I'm the most common energy type, and I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not something more special. I am here to promise you that everyone is so unique and so special. And what I love is when I look at a client's chart, I can see all of their magic, and I can see all of the things about themselves that maybe they're just a little bit afraid to own. And it doesn't matter which energy type you are. It's about having that trust that you are perfectly designed for this lifetime. And the other interesting thing is some of the people I work with who are some of the more rare energy types, in inverted commas, they all sit there and say, oh my God, I'm like so rare and I'm like so different. I wish I was just like everyone else.
No, I have no doubts. I have no doubts then I have special capacities. And it sounds, it sounds not, it's just, I'm different than majority of people. I'm a go-get-it. If I put something in my mind, I can make it. I can manifest everything that I want. And I just need to focus and keep my mind in I don't know, probably you saw it. I'm a certificate in tapping. So I use tapping a lot to unlock things. Do you know what is tapping?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And it was just overwhelming because you can do it for free. Like you can go and put the details, and then they give you so much information.
Yeah.
And you think, well, what I do, so it's my liver in a problem, and so what can we do when you do a chart?
Yeah, a chart. So I totally agree with you that when you find your chart and you don't know what anything means and you start Googling it, it's utterly overwhelming. So I don't recommend it as an option. What I've actually done, because I've had traditional readings and they were great. They were with very experienced, wonderful people. But a traditional reading is like you get on the phone or a Zoom with someone for an hour and they just download all this information and you just go, holy shit, like, what do I do with it?
Yes.
So what I've done to make it really simple is, like, for every energy type, I've made like little reminder cards.
Okay.
So, I know some of this will be on your yeah. So some of this will be on your podcast, so you won't be able to see it. But there's like little reminder cards that say, what are the key themes for me? What is energetically right for me? What is not energetically right for me? And then I've done the same thing for all the areas of your chart. So when you do I call readings conversations because I like it to be interactive. So when you do a conversation with me, I will have all these visual tools that we can use. And then at the end of it, I will also send you copies of what's right for you. And it's like they're little reminders that you can dip back into without having to make like 10 pages worth of notes. Because what I'm really passionate about is it's not knowing your human design, it's actually living it.
I was going to say that because you need to incorporate that in your life, to be a tool, right?
Yeah, all the magic is in actually embodying your human design. And it's a journey. It's not like you have to do everything all at once. You can play, you can be curious, like, oh, let me try this. What result am I getting? Or let me maybe try something else that I'm a little bit afraid of, and just play. Don't make it a dogma or another label that you give yourself. That's not the point. Okay.
What is your why? Why you are always asked this? What is your why? Why are you doing that?
So my why is I went through a big life change becoming a mom. So I'm not going to go into my childhood story, but basically I idolized my dad. And because of who my mom was, which actually through human design, I now understand a lot better, but because of who she was and how she chose to do life, is I felt my role model for the feminine was very disempowered. So I idolized my dad and I basically went out into the world very much in my masculine. So I had a great corporate career and I was very successful. And, you had all the trappings of success and it was great and I loved it, but it all came from a very masculine place. And then in my 30s, I started actually discovering more about the feminine. I did a lot of healing. I made a lot of peace with what happened in my childhood. And then I had a child. And in my relationship, all of a sudden, having a child just flipped the dynamic completely. So all of a sudden, like, I was the stay-at-home mom. And I loved being a mom, but I felt very, very, very strongly that I still needed my own identity. I needed an identity beyond mom. And I found a lot of conditioning that came up linked back to, you know, what's the role of a woman who's also a mother, and what's my place when I'm not defined by the job that I'm doing, or the income that I'm earning, or the impact I'm having in the world. And I had to work through, quite frankly, a lot of my own shit to actually go, okay, I am here to love myself for who I am and not for what I do. And even though at this particular point, I am choosing to be with my daughter as opposed to out in the world, I still deserve rest. I still deserve recognition. I deserve self-care. And it was a real journey for me to be able to claim those things in my life, when some of my conditioning basically said that, you know, you're just a mom, you're staying at home, and you're not working, so you don't deserve any of those things.
Yeah, it's such a, if you listen to other podcasts, you know my story. It's just society want to put us in boxes and force us to be something, and then we want to use all these hats, and we provide. In my case, I was a provider, I was a mom, I was all of that. And then I was nothing. I was so empty. I was so, I lived with the desire to not live. My work was my only joy. And if something was wrong with my work, with my community, that was a knife in my heart. And I start this self-love journey of taking 1 year off motherhood. What is a tough decision, and I don't advise to anyone, because it comes with loads of anxiety and stress, and comes with your kids not understanding, and and it's terrible, and I feel terrible many times, but I decide this is my year, this is my time, this is the time, then I will learn about that. So I totally understand you, because why we need to be so hard to ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've also found, sorry, you go ahead.
No, go. Please.
No, I've also, like, part of my journey is I had to learn that I still needed to follow what was right for me. So, for example, when my daughter was about 5, I felt really, really, really strongly that I needed to move away from London. Like, being in London as a mom did not serve me in the same way as being in London as a single, successful, 30-year-old had. And it was a real journey to actually go, okay, this will impact my entire family. Now that I have a child, the decisions I make no longer impact just me, but I need this. And yes, it will impact my child to a degree. It will also impact my partner and his business. And despite all the obstacles, I need to go. I need to make this move. And it was a real journey for me to actually own that and stand up for it. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, in my head, I had decided I am doing it regardless. I'm doing it regardless of the consequences. And I don't want to leave my relationship, but I will look after myself first, and I will go. And I never really verbalized that, but literally within 24 hours, my partner came along and said, you know what, I have thought about this long and hard, and we're going to go. And, 5 years later, I'm back at that point where I'm making some really hard personal decisions, but I also have this very deep-seated trust that my desires are my guide, and that ultimately everything's going to be okay. And if I do what is right for me, it will ultimately be right for everyone. And it's hard at times, but it's important.
It's so hard. It's so hard, because loving yourself and putting your mask first, it is, except on the airplanes, nobody teaches. And we are pushed to give until I had no identity. I'm a mother since I'm 19, I'm 41. So every day since I'm 19, every day I was a mom. I had a baby, then I had another one, then I had another one, then I had another one, and then I had another one, and I had one extra. So it is what they eat. So I went to Walmart, and I always tell this story. with no kids in a different country, alone. And I started sobbing because I had no clue what to buy. No clue what to buy to it. No clue. And I found myself crying. Who the hell, what do Rita like? What she want for breakfast? And then I went to a totally different, like I start buying all the things that I don't buy for my kids, just for me. And I put some weight extra. But today I start like realizing then some things I had on my life, like drinking water, eating avocado, I can bring in again because that is taking care of me. I want to come back to you because this is not about me. I want to come back to you and human design. And I want to know, how can people work with you? Do you have, we are talking about single readings and groups. And I'm curious to know how you build your business because that helps me to understand. I am an amplifier for women. So my job is to help them getting more clients, help them getting more attention on social media, growing their followers, and stop being stressed with social media, what to post, when to post, the algorithm don't tell me all that thing. So I want to know, what offers do you have on your hand now?
Great. So I've got, for human design specifically, I've got 2 different offers. One is super simple. It's an introduction to your energy type. So there's 5 different energy types, and it's basically a mini course that gives you an introduction to your energy type. It gives you support material. It gives you journal prompts. And knowing and living your energy type, it's like doing the 20% that makes 80% of the difference. So it's really the foundation of human design. And that's $29, and that's available online. And then I do conversations, and conversations include the mini course, and then it's a 60-minute conversation. It can either be on Zoom, or it can be, if you're in a completely different time zone, I can pre-record it for you and I can break it down into bite-sized chunks that you can listen to. So I can work in that way. And also I am cooking up something really, really juicy. I don't have all the details yet. And I'm a manifesting generator. So my energy type is very much driven by what I'm excited about. And I know I have an offer. I know it's going to be around legacy and leaving your legacy now, and knowing that all the actions that you take right now in this moment are your legacy, as opposed to the things that you leave when you're dead. So that's coming in really, really strongly. I know it's going to start in June. I know how much it is. I just don't know what it's about yet.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. And you are owning like this. Let me give you a present. I always give to, not always. I give to people, then I feel inspired. I give 1 hour of free time of me, just like going through your ideas and like giving some extra ideas so we can co-create during 1 hour. I call it the roadmap or game change, and I'm going to send you a link so you can book with me. It's no cameras, it's just me and you, and just like, because this helps me to expand myself and my ideas, and my head is like a popcorn machine. So let me.
I love that. Thank you. I'm so excited.
I would love to work with you. I have so much. I feel your energy and owning what you are doing. Do you have a number? I don't need you to tell, but do you have a number, or how do you set up goals in your life? Do you have a number of money, an amount of money that you want to make? Or do you have an amount of people that you want on your community? How you set up your goals? You don't need to tell us, but just.
Yeah. So there's an element in human design that basically tells you how you're designed to manifest.
Oh, and I love that. I want to know that.
Okay. So there are specific manifestors and non-specific manifestors. So basically what that means is, when you're a specific manifestor, it's all about having the goal and like having like a really clear picture of what it is that you're moving towards. That works really, really well. And for specific manifestors, it's things like vision boards that are really powerful. Whereas if you're a non-specific manifestor, which is what I am, it's all about how you want to feel when you've achieved your goal. So it's about, where are you living? How are you feeling? Who are you with? It's engaging all of your senses. You know, what do you want to smell? What do you want to eat? What do you want to hear?
It's very NLP. It's very NLP, right? Do you know NLP?
Yes, I do. I'm actually an NLP trainer.
Yeah, I'm a master in NLP, and you are saying that, and I was like, oh yeah, like it's all how do you feel, how to say, you bring all the sense and create your reality now. You celebrate now, you dance, you do. Celebration is so important. What, right? I stop you, but so you have on the charts, you have manifestors and no, how do you call it?
Specific and non-specific manifestors.
Okay. And you know, specific goes through the feelings, the sensations, the sounds, okay. So what is
so for me, of course, you know, I have an idea of the lifestyle that I want and the income I desire and the influence I desire. But my main motivator is I want to be able to do what I want, when I want, and with whom I want. That's the kind of freedom I want. That's what I'm moving towards.
Okay. So you don't set up a goal, you go to the feeling and the things that you want to achieve, right?
Yes. Now, that's not to say that you cannot never set goals, because obviously we are also driven by our minds. So human design is very much an embodied in you, like an internal feeling. But, you know, we still have the conditioning of, you know, we have our minds who want to think logically, who want proof for everything. So that's not to say that it's not good to also set like actual goals, just so you can get your mind on board. So your mind can go, okay, this is where we're going to, and in order to do this, we need that amount. It doesn't necessarily have to be time bound, because then you can also beat yourself up, like, you know, oh, I've not achieved, like, you know, doubling my following this month, and, you know, that's bad. It's more like setting the goal and just going, okay, that's energetically what we're moving towards, but removing a bit of the time pressure as well.
It sounds
Does that make sense?
Yes, makes totally sense. And I start seeing how you can incorporate that in your life, because, for example, for me until today, the way that I shift my mind to go from little tickets to high tickets and work with people is I did a lot of business meditation every day, but I do meditation walking. So I'm walking and I'm listening to the voice of the person, and I'm listening about expanding, about asking for more money, about all that things that were stuck. Then I do some tapping, but I don't have vision boards. It's interesting. I normally the first exercise that I give to my people, to my tribe, is a different exercise, is what I call board of achievements. So you can have a vision board, but you have a board of achievements. Since you are born, you are proud of, you make you laugh as hard as, so you have it. That is, for me, I don't know who I am in the human design. For me, the power of remember what I did helps me to make any goal feel easy to get. But I don't use vision boards. Maybe I should, but I just think about a goal, and normally a monthly goal, because I'm a Sagittarius, so I need to be fun. And I go for it. And normally I expand my goal. So for example, if I want 10, I will ask 20. If I want 20, I will ask 40. So if I arrive to 10, I'm not going to be upset. Sometimes yes, but it's just weird how my mind works. The other day I was listening to a quote, then I don't know if it resonates with you. Take ownership of the result before you have any clue how to get the result.
Yeah, because again, you don't have to know how things are going to happen. It's like, you know, when I say human design is an embodied process, you know, when we make decisions, it's all about listening to our own internal authority, and our authority in human design is different for everyone, but it's really, for pretty much 97% of the people, it's in our body. It's not in our head. And one of the things that's very much correct for your energy type and my energy type is we're guided by our desires, and we don't have to explain to anyone why or how they make sense or how the fuck we're going to get there.
Exactly.
And just letting actually go of that need to explain everything to everyone is so liberating.
I feel so released because my old relation, I felt in each idea I had, I need to explain, and that's don't expense. And today, thank you for bringing that to my mind. Today, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. I can do some dangerous moves sometimes. Like yesterday, I did a very dangerous move. I invested in something that was probably too much, but I know I will get it back. What kind of people work with you? What is their moment? What is going on?
Yeah, so I love working with moms, and it doesn't matter what kind of mom you are. It doesn't matter if you're staying at home, if you have a business, if it doesn't really matter. But I love working with moms because I'm just so passionate that when we live our best lives and when we are unapologetically and authentically who we are, then to me, we're inspiring our daughters and our sons about what it means to be an empowered woman. I feel that we're healing generational patterns, past, present, and future. And to me, also, it's all about making it normal that you love yourself as a woman, you look after yourself as a woman, you're not a martyr to your environment. And I always talk about the everyday, because to me, it's really important to be empowered in your everyday. So when I was going through all the transformation I described earlier, like, your everyday, when you're, say, with your young child and you don't have so much validation from the outside world, like your everyday can feel really mundane, but your everyday, like your present reality, that's where you make a difference. And you can be empowered and you can be a feminine leader in your own home, because you're always impacting everyone around you. You're impacting your children, your relationship, your community, your sisterhood. You don't need the validation of the job and the label and the title and the income. It's your everyday where you make the biggest difference. So I'm really passionate
and it's
about
on the foods, then you cook with love, and it's on the socks, then you fold with love. I'm 100% with you. It was going to be super hard for me, and it was. I had the time in my life that I was at home without doing anything, and I need to confess that on the beginning it was nice, and then I was feeling stuck. But probably because I was not living my life with the intention of impacting and transforming their lives. So it's the same thing. The only thing is the intention, then you do it, right?
Yeah.
What is your superpower?
And then,
go back. Okay, tell me what you were going to do. And
no,
then
I was just going to quickly talk about one thing that I'm also really passionate about is in your everyday. Let me think about how to word this, because words are really important to me. So what I felt when I was with my daughter, I mean, I love my daughter, and I only have her, and I wanted her so much, and she is so important to me. So actually, I also, when I was going through that transition of like, where's my identity? Who am I? In addition to being a mom, what I also felt was a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, because on paper, my life was so perfect. I had the house, I had a partner, I had a child, it was all beautiful. And I was actually, I felt that duality between, everything's great and there's something in me that isn't fulfilled. So I also feel that sort of that conditioning and that guilt and shame is something really important to address, because consciously or unconsciously, so many of us carry that. But my superpower is basically to take really complex things. Sorry, my alarm to do the school run in a little while.
Okay.
So my superpower is to take really complex things like human design and make it simple. And I also like to make everything fun, because I love fun, I love freedom, and I just don't think life needs to be so complicated and so serious all the time.
I'm in love for you. I'm in love to be able to give you some tools and to work with you. How people can find you? I want you to send me the links, but how people can find you?
Yeah, so the best place to find me is on Instagram. That's my happy place. And my handle is empowered_HD4, so the number 4 women.
Okay.
So empowered_HD4 women.
Nice. And you, tell me.
Yeah, so that's the best place to find me. So you can check out my web links from there. You can DM me. I love being in conversation with people. I love engaging and asking questions. So if anyone's interested, look me up on Instagram. And,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
And that's where I have fun.
Thank you. I know you need to go, so I don't want to put pressure on you. Can you send?
No, I don't need to go straight away. I normally give myself a couple of minutes to stop doing what I'm doing and get ready. But I don't need to go straight away.
I will leave you in a second. If you could send a message to yourself 5 years ago, what was the message?
Wow, I love that question. I always feel that the work that I do now is the work that I would have loved to find 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time, I found it really difficult to actually find support that was addressing me with where I was, with my everyday. Because I looked around and I was like, okay, I can find business coaching, I can find relationship coaching, I can find parenting coaching. I did a very intensive priestess training over 3 years, but I couldn't find anything where I could show up and go, this is my everyday and I want to have a different experience. And that's really what I bring to women. And that's what I wish I would have had access to 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when I have those days where I wonder why the fuck I'm doing what I'm doing, that's always the point I go back to. It's like, I'm the woman now that I wish I could have found.
Thank you. You are a beautiful soul. I'm in love for you. And I really want to see you again.
Me too.
I did not know you did train yourself for being priestess. I feel that energy of spirituality coming from you. Yes. We always need to find, I feel then when we have all these capacities, we need a tool that help to us to download information and express and give them. So amazing. I'm very grateful to meet you and to have this talk with you. I'm going to say bye to everyone online, guys. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for all this. And I'm going to say bye to Nette properly.
Thank you, Rita. That was so much fun. And I'm really honored to be spending time with you. It's amazing.